Don't you hate paying $10 to see a movie and walking out feeling like you just got robbed? Don't let this happen to you again. Come to ninethrowreviews.com and check out the latest reviews of new movies and let us take the hit for you. ninethrowreviews.com.
I know there's a thing.
A thing? Huh. You know, I don't think there's anything written down in your fake calendar.
No, it says specific things.
Specific things, like, get in line at the video store?
What? What are you talking about? I'm not at the video store. I'm in my apartment.
I can see you, Carl. I'm outside the video store.
That's not me.
It's not?
Oh, I know what's happening. There is this guy who looks just like me who goes a lot of the same video stores that I do. That's probably who you're seeing right now.
Wow, that's amazing. Because his mouth is moving in exact sync with what you're saying. Carl, I know you're not saying anything. Carl, get outside. I know you're not talking.
What?
Carl!
All right.
So unrealistic.
Welcome to the Unbranded podcast. I'm Bane.
What's Mitt Romney doing here?
Hey, we just got political.
That was a stretch.
No, this is one of the greatest things that I've learned this week was the Bane voice in a cup.
How long did you sit in front of a mirror talking to yourself before you...
About
3 days.
4 days.
I can't quite do it right. I've lost it.
It's funny when you can only do it when you're by yourself.
Yeah, and I keep laughing.
No one's
though.
looking.
Oh, thanks, guys. Hey, everybody! It's the Unbranded podcast. I'm Logan.
I'm Mike.
I'm Justin.
And I'm Jake.
They're so you guys are so set on keeping the order right because I made a joke out of it once, and it really doesn't matter.
I gotta bring up the rear. That's
It does.
just the way it is.
Always coming up behind us. Mm-hmm.
Zing.
Well, I really like this. I've got this glass vase, and supposedly you can do it with cups and all sorts of different stuff.
You sound like the knights who say knee.
What? No, I don't.
Do it again for me.
My name is Bane.
But
And as long as I keep my voice low, I don't sound like the knight who say knee.
A shrubbery.
Aaron! Good sir. Get me food, wench. I require sustenance.
No, I think it's great.
Welp.
Well,
Thanks for coming.
that just
Good night,
died.
folks.
What the heck? Everybody just sitting there like, I'm just here.
Yeah.
Big gulps, huh?
It's been a long week.
It has been a long week. It's Halloween, and that's kind of crazy.
Boom, boom, boom.
It's kind of snuck up on me. I was sitting. Actually, my wife got mad at me. I started singing a Christmas carol, and she got mad because it was actually pre-Halloween, pre-Thanksgiving, pre-everything else, and for some reason it feels later in the year.
How many doors did you get to caroling?
None. My own.
You got your own door and you got shut down.
Yeah, my own door.
Your wife slammed
Straight
the door
up
on your
shut
face.
up.
Ouch.
Yeah. But no, yeah, it's Halloween, and there's all sorts of festivities. Is it weird that with Halloween in the middle of the week? I've never really liked that, especially as a kid, because you don't get the day off.
I don't know. I'm 26. I don't
Yeah,
really go trick-or-treating anymore.
Yeah.
Well, no, but as an adult, the kids come around, they're all knocking on your door. You just want to be left alone in the middle of the week. If it's
I
a weekend,
love
the parties
trick-or-treaters.
make more
Yeah,
sense.
I don't mind trick-or-treaters
Yeah.
either.
For some reason, it's always been, ever since I got too old to hand out, to go get candy, I've always loved handing out candy. It's just, there's something really innocent about Halloween to me.
I have more fun just doing like the scary stuff, the Halloween parties, and building the haunted houses. And
Are you guys
such.
going to dress up this year? What are you going to be?
I don't know if we're going to dress up this year other than what we already did. We had a Halloween party this last weekend. Jake and his wife were there.
My Halloweens have always just been the weekend before Halloween.
Really?
I've never lived in like a heavy concentrated trick-or-treat neighborhood, so...
Well, you also lived in what could be considered the
shoot.
boonies of Sacramento.
I grew up without sidewalks, so that was my childhood. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Sounds like Sacramento.
but yeah, like, I mean, there's totally a sidewalk where I live now, and there's like a million people, but still, it's just not a lot of people come around.
Over in that area, because you lived close to my parents, I remember
Close
growing
to
up, there was
old
not
folks.
many...
Not reflecting your parents, but I'm surrounded by
No,
lots of
they're
nice
old.
senior folks.
They're old. It's an older population, though. I've started to notice more young families with kids move in along that area. It's surprising because there's an elementary school right there.
I have the same problem in my neighborhood. We have it's all elderly people. There's no kids at all.
Yeah,
no
that's true.
problem.
We get like maybe four or five trick-or-treaters tops.
Well, and you're also
every year.
really close there to this kind of ghetto area, thanks to Walmart.
Yeah. When you have 3 helicopters over at your house at the same time, you know you're in a bad spot.
Yeah.
You know it's Friday.
Yeah.
I think that since we moved out of that gated complex into this neighborhood, we're going to probably get more trick-or-treaters. Plus, we know there's a lot more kids because we see them around the different condos and such. And we have some actually really nice neighbors around here. It was a nice change from the older group that was at the place we used to be.
Doesn't stop us from buying candy though.
No.
We totally
then
buy
eating
candy
all of
every
it
year.
by
Yeah,
yourself.
definitely eating it all.
Might get 1 or 2, but still in the end it's like, someone's
Yeah.
got to eat it.
1
I
for
don't know.
you, 5 for me. 1 for you, 5 for me.
Something like that.
Well, I think you know when to close the door when it starts becoming teenagers asking for candy.
Yeah, like I don't have a big thing against that though. I don't really care that much.
Here's my stance on life. I was approximately like 6 foot when I was 8 years old.
Oh, I would slam the door
so
on your
Halloween
face.
got shut down on me real fast.
Right.
Get
So,
off my doorstep.
So if a kid's asking for candy, if you think he's suspicious, give him the crap candy. But come on, candy's candy.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's shotgun to the face. I'm sorry. You got to get off my porch if you're 6 foot
A
asking for candy.
shotgun to your face?
Shotgun to the face.
That's
Just,
one
you know,
Halloween I don't want to enjoy.
Yeah, seriously.
Wait,
That's
his
like
face or
almost
your
as bad
face?
as
Are you shotgunning
my
candy
face. I'm
into-
threatening you. I'm going to blow my face off if you don't get off the porch.
That doesn't
Get off my
make
porch
any
or I'm going to
sense.
do it.
do it.
Put the gun down.
Don't think I won't do it,
You're
man.
gonna shoot me if I shoot myself?
Yeah, actually, going back to the costume thing though, I've grown my hair out over the last year, so I can be Kurt Russell from The Thing for Halloween.
Really?
Yeah, because he has the
Nice.
most glorious hair and beard, and sadly, I can't grow the beard. So,
You're just gonna do a shaved.
oh
version.
no, I'm going to put on cotton
Oh,
balls,
okay.
brown cotton balls, and be that guy.
The last
Gross.
couple of years, I've concentrated and been like, okay, grow the hair long, grow the beard just in case. But then this year, I ended up shaving it all off anyway.
I wish I knew what a
Shame.
beard was.
I think I'm going to go back to Old Faithful. I have a banana costume that I'm going to put back on,
Awesome.
probably. Either that or I'll go half and half. I'll put a jailer suit and a banana costume on at the same time and be an imprisoned banana.
Nice.
Boom.
That'd be kind of funny.
Or a banana in pajamas.
Mine's blown.
That's
My-
quote unquote creative.
Yes, yes, it is.
My wife and I were bikers. I had one of the the really big Halloween chains, the plastic ones that you use for the haunted houses and
Ebenezer
stuff like that.
Scrooge.
Yeah,
Now,
Ebenezer
like
Scrooge.
Hell's Angels bikers or like
yeah, kind of.
tandem
Toddlers.
bikes,
Yeah,
bicycle
leather
bikers.
jacket.
The Benjamin Button biker.
The Benjamin Button biker.
You age in reverse.
60s era.
Yes.
And so we got a couple of older leather jackets. I had like the American flag and the eagle on the back, and she had kind of this nicer woman's leather jacket and a hat and all that, and it worked out pretty well. I like the chain though, just because it was so egregiously large and ridiculous. It made the costume kind of fit.
Ooh, there's our new word right there.
Egregious.
Egregious.
I like it.
Egregious.
Yeah.
That's the new word of the day.
I
the word of the
disagree. I
podcast.
veto.
Veto. You can't
Oh,
veto.
he
This is
ve-
America.
He can veto. He can veto.
We
It
all
just
have,
don't
we all have
matter.
a right to veto.
He
We
can
all
veto.
have a right.
Yeah, no. So that was kind of fun. We were the bikers, and we were considering
The bikers.
going around on. It just doesn't sound as tough in that context.
When
the
you call
bikers.
yourself the bikers.
Try the Bane voice. Maybe it'll be better.
No, I should turn it.
You don't even have it ready.
No,
fail.
I don't.
Epic
Oh.
fail.
Well,
We'll edit this out.
I can't have it near me all
We'll
the whole
edit it out.
time.
Everyone be quiet so we can start.
What?
What?
Nope,
We
sorry,
are
it's already
the-
in.
We are the bikers.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I lost it.
It
'cause I
lost
keep
its
trying-
motion because you didn't have it ready.
Yeah, I should have been ready.
Mojo's
Oh well,
gone.
I will
bad.
keep it here with me for opportune
Yeah,
moments.
That's so sad.
But yeah, so the bikers, the banana in jail. I really liked Jake and his wife's costume. I thought it was a lot of fun.
I grew my hair out long so I could, grease it up like it's the only proper way to do my hair.
Paul
besides
made it.
just fro. Yeah, pompadour. But I grew my beard out, and then all of a sudden my wife's like, I want to be Lucille Ball for Halloween, so that means I'm Ricky Ricardo, which is like nothing. So
Who goes as Ricky Ricardo?
the guy whose wife is Lucille Ball.
It
I
makes
literally
sense.
had no costume. I was just wearing a tie
And a suit
and
jacket.
like an old jacket. And so if you just saw me by myself, it was just Jake.
You should.
Yeah, but
You
as
should've
soon
just
as
gone-
Brenda came around, it's like, oh!
You should put all the gray makeup on, so you and her are completely gray.
So it looked black and white. Mm-hmm. And then I can have a drinking problem and abuse my kids.
That was Lucille Ball.
And beat
No, that
everyone
was
around
Ricky.
you.
Ha!
Yeah.
I only remember
American
eating
history.
donuts.
What?
Yeah, like there's an episode
When you
where
guys hung out?
No,
Yeah,
I think you're thinking of the chocolate, where she's working in the chocolate factory.
no, like oh yeah, it is chocolate. Never mind.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Zing!
Oh yeah, who knows their Lucille Ball
Oh,
history?
man.
This guy.
Is that an accomplishment?
Shut up.
No.
Anyway, so yeah, no, Halloween, it's always been a lot of fun. I recently have gotten more and more into like the making of the haunted houses and such with
And scaring
friends of
kids.
mine.
Corn mazes.
Yeah, the corn mazes.
Yeah.
Well, my family's always liked to do the corn maze, and we go out to the one in Dixon, which was the 2007 Guinness Book World Record.
Yeah, it's the biggest one
Yeah.
in the world, or I
It
think
was
America.
then.
I think at that point I think it was, but they've beaten it since then. But it's always been good. I think we just went in a bad time this year because it had gotten wrecked pretty bad. They had a lot of people run through and just knock down a lot
All
of
the corn had been shucked.
Yeah.
It was just a weed. It was a weed maze.
But more like building the haunted houses. I have a buddy who's her dad is a contractor, and so he had a lot of scaffolding and a really big garage. And we'd set it up with the tunnels and the hallways and all this different creative stuff, and they're really into Halloween.
I actually have a huge phobia of haunted houses. I can't go through them anymore. Yeah, I got dragged through one when I was in like the 6th grade, and ever since then I've had a huge fear of them.
It's probably Rob Zombie's Haunted House of Horror.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's the kind of thing I got dragged through.
But it's kind of funny because you're really desensitized to like the horror films and such. Is it something about living through them that makes it real? And
with horror movies, there's a screen between you when you're getting dragged through and something can grab you. For some reason, that's real to me. I can't handle that.
I really like just scaring people in those haunted houses. I think it's a lot of fun.
See, and they don't bother me at all. The last one I went through was actually at Laser Force. They do a pretty good job with
They do.
Yeah, they do.
And the last thing, like, they kept telling you throughout the whole thing, when you see the guy with the chainsaw, you need to run. And the guy came up with the chainsaw, and I was just standing there looking at him like, yeah, can I help you with something? He's like, you need to run. And I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, you're one of those punks that calls
I just didn't know that's what I was supposed to do.
And then he's just standing there like, can you please go?
Like,
what's supposed to happen next?
Run.
Yeah.
You must run from the man with the chainsaw.
Yes.
Run.
Yes, thank you, Bane.
The last one I went to was Arizona State, and they had the chainsaw guy, and I was completely drunk, and I just fell over.
Oh dear.
I fell into the chainsaw.
The guy ran at us. The other two people run off, and I just kind of fall against the wall. And the guy's like, "You have to run now." And I'm like, "Okay."
I love how your chainsaw guys are dapper and polite.
Yeah.
They're actually
Excuse me,
You need to
sir.
run now, sir.
Approximately now is the best time for you to be running.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be okay for you to operate your feet?
Oh man.
Please get up. The next
scary-
group has to come through.
Growing up, I don't know if I just never went to them, but like the ones that like they would do at schools, and I think I've been to like maybe one or two outside of school, but majority of my haunted houses have been pretty amateur and like not that big a deal. So
Right.
they've never really like, I don't know, sunk in. My favorite one though was it was a spook house, but it was at the state fair. And they turned it into an Avatar ride.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Man.
It was a
Wow.
total spook house. You know, you get in the little cart and they take you down the track, and it's like, oh, look, an Avatar that looks like Frankenstein.
That is way weird.
Then you go around and you see lights and eyes, and then there's another one, but it's like painted over a Dracula. It was
So
really
they painted
funny.
the Avatar.
They painted avatars over a haunted.
So they
spook
painted those
house.
blue cats over like a vampire.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That's weird.
That's really weird. No, I really like my buddy's dad, the contractor. He also had a concrete grinder, and similar to like the chainsaw, he had this cinder block that he'd run out and just create a bunch of sparks and like chase kids off of his front porch with this
After he warned
running
them.
concrete grinder.
Politely.
No warning. He just steps out with a Jason mask and just like yeah, and tons of sparks everywhere. It's a lot of fun.
With a what? A cinder block?
Yeah, with a cinder block.
So your dad's just out there chucking cinder blocks
No,
at
no,
kids.
no.
It's not even Halloween.
Nice.
It's actually Thanksgiving now.
Excuse me, kids. Now is the time for you to run.
Not my dad, but yeah, no, it's
Hey, Dad.
he did some really, really scary stuff. They're big fans of Halloween. And they kind of got me into it because of that. So yeah, lots of stuff with Halloween, but probably not so much Halloween going if this hurricane on the East Coast keeps.
Oh yeah, we're in the
way
middle.
it is.
We're in the middle of Sandy Watch.
Sandy. Frankenstorm.
You got Sand.
Yeah, I know. I wonder if they did that just because it's coming up around Halloween.
No, I'm sure that's some scientist's name.
Supposedly the storm is over 1,000 miles wide, though. It's huge.
And 1,000 miles deep.
Well, I don't know. I'm in
Real deep.
California, so
Yeah, we don't have any.
It's sunny.
It was sunny and somewhere in the mid 70s.
I was actually
today.
kind of hot today.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
hot.
it was. Now, I got a sister out there. She lives not too far away from D.C. In Maryland is where she lives. And it's just been like updates. She's like, you know, we'd all kind of check in on her and be like, are you ready? Like, what's going to happen? She's like, I only got 3 eggs. How am I going to make brownies?
Oh, dear.
She's worried about eggs.
Well, you know, you got your batteries, you got your other stuff. And she's like, I only have 3 eggs.
She looks outside. Bill Paxton's following a twister down the road.
That's an egregious
Trees are
mistake.
knocking down, power lines.
Ooh,
Oh,
dropping
hey.
it like it's hot.
Um,
Your veto power didn't work.
it's
I
not.
know.
It's not that we don't sympathize with the East Coasters in this rain. We don't know how to because we live in California and we don't get hurricanes here.
We
Right,
get like
right.
we get like a sheet of rain and everybody starts freaking out. Close all
Yeah.
the schools. Everything bad's happening
That's
at
true.
once.
Yeah, no. The only thing that I can think of is just like the rainstorms in a tropic country like Korea. When I was over there, it was pretty crazy. The rain coming at like weird angles.
Here comes the Korea talk.
Forrest
Yep.
Gump.
Here is the Korea section of our podcast today. Yeah, no, you'd hold the umbrella up and like everything from your chest down was wet because it's coming in sideways. And I hear that's like their big thing right now is the rain coming in sideways.
Arizona had the same thing. They have a monsoon season, like
Yeah, because
during
they're
the
more
summer.
tropical.
Why is everything slanted?
That's racist. I can't say it.
Can't
I
say bigot.
I can't say it that time.
That's not the word today.
Nope.
You
egregious fellow.
Egregious young
agnostic.
man.
Anyway, so yeah, the Halloween's going to jack a whole bunch of stuff up. Or did I say Halloween?
Yes.
Sorry, the hurricane.
Look
Halloween,
out, East Coast! Halloween's gonna jack you up.
Halloween Sandy.
But supposedly the
like a
hurricane.
pie.
But you should still take your kids to trick or treat in the hurricane
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
Halloween.
Actually, I hear that's a big thing is parents can't take their kids trick or treating because of the hurricane, so they're actually going to shift it over a day or two.
Halloween's on November 3rd this year, guys.
Whatever.
It's like the Simpsons episode, the Simpsons Halloween episode.
Yeah.
But was there anything about Halloween like that really scared you, or like something that really gets you upset, like nervous?
Nowadays,
Ponies?
or as a little kid.
Well,
Either
I went to 12 years of Catholic school, so Halloween was 24/7 for me.
Rum plum plum. Nice.
What do you mean scary?
I mean, it's like kind of more your greatest fears type of thing. Like, is there anything about Halloween that brings that out? Because for me, I really don't. I've got kind of bad arachnophobia.
I never had this.
That movie, the Spider movie.
It wasn't from the Spider-Man.
afraid of
Spider-Man.
Are you afraid of John Goodman?
No,
Isn't.
I'm not afraid of John Goodman.
He's a great actor. Don't be afraid
It's
of him.
not that like I freak out and like I start panicking when I see him. I just can't help myself from killing a spider if I see it. Like it makes me really uncomfortable to see them alive, so I just kill them.
I just got this image of you going like
Jumping up on top of a
spider,
chair.
Yeah.
I don't understand why people kill him. Just
Calling your wife in here to kill him for you.
in the kitchen.
Grab the shotgun.
spider.
Yeah. So and of course spiders are big for Halloween, like all the decorations and the giant spiders and
These
there's always
spiders
that-
everywhere now. Everywhere. Movies. I mean, I don't know. There's spiders.
I do like
everywhere.
Eight-Legged Freaks. That movie from 2004 with David Arquette.
Right.
That's a better spider movie than Arachnophobia.
Do you know what spiders are also good at? Talking into their microphone.
Spiders. Hey, listen.
Slam.
Hey,
Happy
calm
birthday.
Set that one up.
Happy birthday.
Oh.
Sorry. Yeah, it is Michael's birthday today.
So we'll be showing him no remorse for the
No,
next
no, no,
half
I'm
getting
hour or so.
pounded.
There will be no pounding on this show.
No.
Aw.
Anyway, so yeah, spiders. What were you saying, Michael?
Nothing really from Halloween scares me. Just
Really?
like,
except for the haunted houses.
haunted houses scare. That's probably it. Addams Family, haunted house type things.
Right.
I don't know because we're so inundated with the monsters of Halloween that they just aren't frightening anymore. You see them everywhere:
But
vampires,
you
werewolves,
didn't even
mummies.
have fears as a kid.
Shrek.
Like as a kid, there was nothing that really scared you, or like monsters under the bed, or anything like that.
My life is a living nightmare. Nothing really scares me anymore.
You
You
guys are
and
horrible
Justin.
for this question.
Actually, the only thing I've ever been scared of really is height.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I went to Disneyland, what's the one that drops you?
Oh, the Tower of Terror.
The Tower of Terror. I went on that just my last birthday last year on the 29th. That thing dropped me, and I think I passed out and woke up 20 minutes later.
Oh, I think that's
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I did a face my fears kind of thing, and I went skydiving.
Oh,
Wow.
right.
You can't get me on a plane for
I-
that.
Single
you're good.
greatest thing I've ever done in my life. I would do it again.
Is it fun?
Yeah, it's awesome.
I used to have a problem with roller coasters, and it was always because Jake probably can sympathize with this. We're so tall, we feel like we're gonna hit our heads.
You're like
your head
Dex-
gets lopped off.
Yeah, I'm constantly like ducking and getting down into the car because I'm afraid that my head's gonna get
You're like that episode of
smashed.
Dexter's Laboratory where he actually grew, and then roller coaster actually took his head off at the end.
That's gross.
Well, it's just like Disneyland. Have you ever? I'm sure you guys have been on Space Mountain, where if you try to put your hands up, you think that you're gonna nail the wood on the inside. So
Right.
you're sitting there doing this, like trying to be cool about it, but also being a big woman at the same time.
Yeah, I can't get on roller coasters either.
See, I didn't have the guts as a kid, more just because it was a roller coaster when I was a little kid. But by the time I was old enough and had the guts, I was too big.
Really?
So now I only have like maybe a third of
Well-
the roller coasters I can go on.
Yeah, you
Right.
just need to find the ones where your feet hang. You sit down.
Nope.
No,
You can't
because
do
even
it.
those, they go by poles. There's one at Six Flags, Medusa, I think. Yeah.
That's too bad.
The last roller coaster I was on with my brother-in-law, and he's a shorter guy. He's only about like 5'6", 5'8", and we couldn't fit in the car, and they couldn't put the bar down and lock it in place. They let us go anyway. The guy just like, he pushes the bar down, realizes it doesn't lock. He's like, oh well, and moves on in the next car. And so literally my brother-in-law is half sitting on my leg and the bar is like there. I'm sitting there pulling the bar down to make sure we don't like fly out of this car. And we're looking at each other like, we should not have done this. This was a really bad idea.
Was this the state fair?
It was a state fair.
Yeah.
Which,
that's happened to me.
I also got hit on by more guys at the state fair than
You're a
ever
pretty
in my
man.
life.
Yeah, you are.
Were
You're
you
a
there for
beautiful
that
man.
though?
No.
Oh, I was me and my sister, my brother-in-law, and my other brother-in-law. We're all hanging out, and it was really, really funny because they were trying to, get us to pay for all the different rides and the activities and such. So they started giving us free things and hitting on me. So I just worked it for what it was worth, and
Well, I
was
find it
kinda
flattering.
weird.
Well, hey, at least if it doesn't work out with your wife, you can always go
I
that
could
route.
go to the state fair.
You can go to the state fair.
Once a year.
Anyway, so
California State Fair fun that moves you.
I like the state fair.
the state fair. I don't have it ready.
Strike two.
The state fair.
You're,
it's
what an
dead now.
egregious error.
Oh,
dropping it.
Strike back from before. Anyway, we should take a little bit of a break, move on to some other great stuff we got planned for today right after this.
You hear the door slam and realize there's nowhere left to run. You feel the cold and wonder if you ever see the sun. You close your eyes and hope that this is just imagination. Girl, but all the while you hear a creature.
This segment of the Unbranded Podcast is brought to you by the Ninth Row Reviews Amazon page. Next time you make a purchase on Amazon, don't make an egregious error and make it on the Ninth Row Reviews Amazon page and support our show at no cost to you. And hey, we're back to the Unbranded Podcast, like I said before. And this segment, I just wanted to get down and talk about Facebook a little bit. Since the Giants, won the World Series, swept the Tigers.
Who?
I know, right? Detroit. Who were they?
Would you really call it a sweep the way they won though with the bunt? Sacrificing that bunt to get the last run in.
Oh, I was completely lying. I didn't watch the game.
Oh, okay.
Well, they won 4 games in a row,
They
so
did.
they swept.
That's
them.
what
They-
a sweep is.
Yes,
They
I was more referring to that last game in general.
The last game was a nail biter, but it's baseball. Who cares?
It was the 10th inning that it ended, right? And that was pretty intense. Everybody was pretty excited when
Again.
I was watching.
what Mike said. It's baseball. Who cares?
American pastime. American pastime. Not on my watch.
Yeah, I thought football was the American
I know.
pastime, but
Let's see turn football and baseball on the same day for Sunday and see what people watch more.
I don't know. I would say that football is probably still the most American sport, as in we're the main country that actually plays the sport.
I think the Japanese are actually more into baseball nowadays.
Yeah.
It's way big over in Asia right
Yeah.
now. It's because they're too short to shoot basketball and they're not big enough to play football.
Logan,
Men's football.
regale us with some of your Korea stories of when
Korea
you played
check.
baseball.
I was gonna say
Tell us.
Korea check. Tell us about baseball in
us.
Korea.
Tell us, Logan.
Actually, it'd be more
Career.
interesting
Here
to
we
talk
go.
about soccer, the other kind of football. Just because
football.
for them,
Football Americana.
any type of sport over there, they get way excited about.
So StarCraft 2.
So StarCraft 2, yeah, it's their big thing. But no, like the World Cup with soccer, the buildings start shaking every time Korea makes a goal. It's pretty
Again,
intense.
another sport that doesn't matter.
I love playing soccer, but
Yeah,
I would never watch it.
I loved playing soccer when I was 12 too. But
When I was 12, I played softball. Doesn't mean I want to watch it every weekend.
Yeah, no, but I would still say, I think in the UK they play football, but more of American football, but not the same sport by any means.
In the UK?
Yeah, don't they? They had a similar.
I hear more rugby and soccer.
Well, I
Rugby's
thought
a
that
big
they
thing
played a
nowadays.
more rugby style.
Rugby's
than
getting
football.
big.
Rugby's getting way big.
It's actually getting big in America too. I think Fox
yeah.
just picked it up for syndication.
You got a national rugby champion sitting on your couch here, gentlemen.
Oh, that's true. You played
says a
rugby
lot.
and
4 years.
and lacrosse as well.
Yeah, I
has
played.
gotten a lot bigger.
I played rugby for Jesuit High School. We won a national championship, 2004.
Wow.
I went to a rugby game for Mariloma.
Yeah, it was awesome. We had to beat 7 different teams.
Really?
Yeah, something like that.
And was it just
That was at
statewide?
the tournament.
That was at the tournament.
Yeah, that was at the actual championship tournament. There's a ton of teams around here, but the biggest rivalry
Yeah.
is between Burbank High School and Jesuit. That's the biggest one.
Was it an official school team though?
Yeah,
See, that always bothered me because in high school I played lacrosse and we were always considered a
club.
Yeah, we could never. Supposedly lacrosse was more dangerous than football, and therefore the insurance of the school district wouldn't cover it.
Which I don't get because you get some kid who's 6'4", 200 pounds, and you put another 70 pounds of pads on him.
Yeah,
and he's gonna truck over that 150-pound kid.
Well, then again, with lacrosse, so you're talking about guys beating each other with metal sticks. Like it's somewhat legitimate. There were some pretty bad injuries, but at the same time, I don't see that it outweighed the number of injuries that they had in football.
Are you describing lacrosse or golf?
Yeah, you play golf now.
Both.
I broke my arm when I played for varsity football.
Really?
Yeah, so I would say...
Oh, that's right. I forgot you played.
If I had to throw down, I'd say football is the more dangerous sport.
Probably. I don't know. Well, at least because there's a higher group, a larger
He's
population.
absolutely
that play
right.
it.
Football is the more dangerous sport besides rugby.
Yeah.
Rugby is not as nearly as dangerous as football is.
Well, you always hear those national stories about kids getting concussions and dying playing football. I haven't heard one story about anybody dying playing rugby, and yet they don't wear pads.
You don't have all the pads, and the reason that it's less dangerous is one, you're not getting the ball and you're running 40 yards at somebody full sprint. When you're picking up a ball and running in rugby, you're maybe getting like 10 feet if you're the guys that are our size.
Right.
If you're the backs, which are the guys, the fast soccer types out on the ends, those are the guys that sprint and do the 40-yard runs and stuff. But they're smaller guys, so they're hitting each other and they're not hitting each other that hard.
Right.
Whereas you got football, which he broke his arm or whatever. I was talking about, you take that 6'4" guy and you put another 50 pounds of padding on him.
Right.
You're basically adding weight to somebody who's already gigantic.
And then, you've got hockey, which, some people call football on ice, but which really isn't true.
I love hockey.
I just think hockey's great because of the amount of fighting at the end.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Well, and it was the same way with lacrosse. Like, I'm pretty sure every 2 out of 3 games that we played, there was a fight breaking out either in the middle or after the game. It was pretty intense.
Hitting each other with sticks.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's having a stick to squeeze.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, just running up and clocking somebody.
It's not assault if you do it on a field.
Yeah. Well, no, that's the thing. Like with
back.
lacrosse, cup checks are legal. You can consider just kind of the poking defense, and you can poke all over their body, including the cup.
Why do I imagine
I just
West
got
Side Story?
I just got a bad image of that, dude. You guys poking each other out on the lacrosse field.
But it's like you're not even mad. You're just kind of poking at each other.
Poking each other with your sticks.
It was
poke.
Think of more of like
you
pool,
scored a goal.
like a really, really strong pool strike, and that's more what it feels like. And you get guys that were like on mine, guys my size that were playing defense, and we had like 6.5 foot long poles. Everybody else had these 3.5 foot ones. So
That's
we
what
could
she
sit,
said.
Yeah, we could sit there and we could just knock at people, and it could really, really hurt. There's some pretty bad injuries, but I think just simply because of the population, the larger number of people playing football, the higher percentage of casualties is going to be in that side.
How much padding do you have to wear on the cross?
Not a ton. You've got elbow, you've got chest. You can wear kind of a rib guard down below at your stomach. You're supposed to wear a cup, but of course nobody does because it chafes too bad, and so that's why, if you do it, you can get hurt pretty bad, or if you don't, you can get hurt pretty bad. And it's legal. The refs can't do anything about it because it's considered a totally legal defense move to sit there and poke at their legs, their waist, their stomach, and their chest. And so you take somebody down, the ref's like, well, sorry, dude, you should have been wearing the padding. It wasn't a whole lot, and so to get whacked in the middle of the chest with a metal stick it could hurt. Why was that funny? Besides the image of like some kid getting hit in the chest with a metal stick, why was that funny?
Wording plays a lot in this one.
I don't get it. But anyway, I don't know. Back to Facebook and the
it's
Giants game.
It's all this poking and whacking.
All this whacking and poking at me.
Well,
egregious.
It's egregious amounts of whacking and poking.
Just say the word.
Egregious.
So,
well,
but we're talking about injuries though. There were quite a bit of injuries at the Giants game. One guy got hit in the hand. One of the catchers got whacked in the back of the head with the bat.
Oh, you're talking about the baseball game.
Game.
Only 7 fans died, because at least we weren't playing the Dodgers, or we'd have had 7 guys in a coma.
Or the Oakland A's.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. Can you imagine if Oakland and San Francisco were...
Yeah, that'd be pretty bad.
We already had a football game. We don't need another one like that.
Yeah. But there were a couple injuries at the game. It was intense. It was a nail-biter. But you were bringing it up because of Facebook. I didn't really see much what was going on with Facebook in the game.
Facebook exploded after the Giants won.
Right.
I was just sitting on Facebook like, oh, I'm going to let my birthday wishes roll in. And all of a sudden, everybody, Giants win. We get swept, Pandas. I don't even know what's going on half the time. I don't follow the Giants. Like we said, baseball, whatever. For some reason, everybody had to comment on the game. Like, people I didn't know were baseball fans started just exploding, saying, I love baseball. It's been my life forever.
Yeah.
No, it hasn't. Just because a team you live next to won.
Right, yeah. No, I thought it was kind of funny right immediately after the game, just the amount of, the champions memorabilia with their logos and everything. It's like, but you didn't know if you were going to win. Well, maybe at that point they did.
Sweep.
Three games in.
It was definitely an egregious win.
Yeah. It was an egregious sweep.
Going too far there. You're trying too hard.
Well, what I find funny is after they won, you get on the AP or whatever your local news is, and people in San Francisco are rioting because of the win. You see buses on fire and people holding brooms next to the bus that's in flames, Inferno, and they're saying, "We swept the Tigers." I'm like, "You're destroying your city."
Yeah.
You morons.
I don't know. It seems like that's gotten worse in the last couple of years.
Oh, if you live in a college town that has some kind of record, that happens every year.
Chaos has spread across the city with the Giants' win.
Bane, can I ask you a question?
Yes, Michael.
Why are you running against Obama?
Because he's an imbecile, and I would rule this nation with an iron fist.
Wait a minute.
Batman, what are you doing here?
Did you just call Obama an imbecile?
I did, Batman. And you may have my permission to do it as well.
Mitt Romney. Can we trust him?
We try so hard not to get political that we bring it in like
Mitt
this.
Romney.
Where's Harvey Dent?
Mitt Romney's not the president we need right now, but the one we want.
Oh, man. Anyway.
I'm voting for Nader, so I'm just out of that one.
So, yeah, it was kind of a pretty intense game. We need to let that drop because that's really all that can be said about it. It's baseball.
Well, it's funny we talk more about lacrosse and, the rules of lacrosse.
Then the Giants because it's boring.
Yeah.
Hey, fair weather fans. Let's hear it.
Guys, let's watch a game where they throw a ball across the plate 80 times.
But let's get... we live in Sacramento. The Giants are right over there 2 hours away. We'll give them a clap.
No, we should.
Good job, Giants.
Just a single clap, though. Just a single clap. Ready? 3, 2, 1. There we go. That's a single clap.
Let's
Everybody,
get
that's
we
all
should
you
totally do that as a thing now. The single clap.
But that's all you get. You don't get any
Michael,
more than that, San Francisco.
Michael, for your birthday, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Yep, there we go.
Thank you.
All right. So the other thing we wanted to bring up with the internet related, the YouTube and Facebook, I've been seeing a couple new videos of really, really bad 911 calls come up.
Oh, these are great.
And I didn't really see a couple recently that were that funny, but I found some of the older ones I had seen in years past that I remembered. And here's one of the first ones. This gal, I guess, is really desperate and needed a date.
She's the person who called 911, and she could go to jail for it.
911, do you need fire, medical, or police? No, ma'am, I don't. I don't have an emergency. 2 police officers just left my house just now. Third, could I get their names, please? Did you throw them back my way? Do you need them to come back there? Oh, I'd like that, yeah.
She sounds kind of hot.
Why do you need them to come back there? Because I have an emergency.
I don't think the picture does it justice.
No, I don't think it does.
I'm just going to be honest with you, okay? I just thought he was cute. I'm 45 years old, and I'd like to meet him again. But I don't know how to go about doing that without calling 911. I know this is not absolutely in a way, shape, or form an emergency.
The deputies did return to arrest her for misusing 911 calls. If Dudash is convicted, she could face up to a year in jail.
That's great.
Wow. Amazing.
Well, I just feel bad for her because the cop came back and then arrested her.
Yeah.
I find you kind of hot. Ma'am, get on your knees. Get on your knees. Oh, okay.
And then this one I think is even better.
From Dearborn, Michigan is outraged over a 911 call. He wants to know why no charges have been filed against a police officer who admits to confiscating marijuana from suspects and then baking it in brownies. And once he and his wife were full and high, they thought they'd overdosed and called 911.
So stupid.
I think I'm having an overdose of this, so is my wife.
Overdose of what?
Marijuana. I don't know if they had something in it. Can you please send rescue?
Do you guys have fever or anything?
No, I think we're dying.
Okay, how much did you guys have?
I don't know. We made brownies, and I think we're dead. Time is going by really, 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 really slow.
I think we're dead.
Well, instead of being charged...
Oh, she snorted.
I love the snort.
Instead of being charged, the police department let the officer resign. His wife was not charged either. So far, police officials
That's
have
actually more
not
common than
commented on
you
the
think,
case.
though.
Wow.
Like, a friend that me and Logan know, I'll
councilman
tell
from
you later,
Dearborn,
but
Michigan.
he actually, I remember sitting on the couch with him, and he thought he was dying just because he ate a pot brownie.
Yeah.
He freaked out like he was eating a bowl of tricks, and I just said, hey, dude, you're dying, and he took it to heart.
Oh, gee.
Oh,
I just think
God.
it's really funny that the whole time is going really, really, really slow.
But that's really sad too, because it just shows you how uninformed people are about certain things.
And he's
like
a
that.
cop, though.
He should have gotten in trouble for that. He shouldn't have gotten.
He
let
really
off the
should
hook.
have. I don't blame the assemblyman for going at it about complaining that he wasn't arrested or anything.
Or at least give the guys that he confiscated it their money back.
Yeah.
But on the topic of marijuana, there's this guy who I just think is a absolute doorknob.
I have a question.
All that 21-year-old Robert Michelson wanted was a little free legal advice. So he picked up the phone. But instead of calling a lawyer, this is who he dialed.
911, what's the location of your emergency?
Let's not get into that yet.
If it's not an emergency, you don't call 911, sir.
Well, I have a legal question.
Is it life-threatening or an active crime in progress?
Crime in progress, possibly.
But there was no robbery, burglary, or even an emergency.
Wow.
Michelson had what you could call a cannabis conundrum.
What's going on?
I was just growing some marijuana. I was just wondering how much, trouble you can get into for one plant.
A lot.
You're growing marijuana and you want to know how much. Depends on how big the plant is.
It's only a seedling.
It didn't take long for police to track the call to Michelson's home. There they found a small amount of marijuana and drug paraphernalia.
It's a first. Yeah, I can't say I've ever had this happen before.
Michelson admitted he bought seeds and equipment for growing. Police then charged him with marijuana possession and other crimes.
He did tell officers that he did it because he wanted to make his mother angry.
Michelson was later released on $5,000 bail. He had no comment on his arrest, but he did have a not-so-subtle message as he left the police station.
He spun around and stuck both middle fingers up at the dispatchers.
Nicole Bresnan, the Associated
Because
Press.
it was their fault.
Yeah, I think that means hello in Farmington.
Yeah, that's a story that has a lot of folds.
So yeah, I just don't get it. The guy blames the dispatchers for what happened to him, and this sort of stuff happens a lot more often than we realize.
Yeah, that's because he's a stoner with the IQ of 40.
Yeah, seriously, he got it to make his mom mad.
Yeah, why? There's plenty of other ways.
even
First
smoke.
off, that you can piss off your parents.
Well, maybe not in that poor town he was in.
This is true.
Yeah. No. Oh well. The guy's an idiot. Good for him for being in jail now and living off of our tax money.
Again, too bad he's not in California, because all he had to do was pay $50 and get a card.
Yeah.
Then he can do whatever the hell he wants.
So to try and leave this off on a little bit lighter note, this criminal got in all sorts of trouble because all he wanted to do was just cheat on his math homework.
Where do you live, though?
No, I want you to talk to me on the phone.
No, I can't do that. I can send someone else to help you.
Okay,
What kind of math do you have that you need help with?
I have takeaways.
Oh, you got to do the takeaways?
Yeah.
Who calls it
All right, what's the
takeaways?
problem?
A 4-year-old.
Huh.
You have to help me with my math.
Okay.
It's called subtraction.
Tell me what the math is.
Okay, 16,
Yeah.
take away 8.
Uh-huh.
Is what?
You tell me, how much do you think it is?
I don't know, 1.
No. How old are you?
I'm only 4.
4?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's another problem? That was a tough one.
Oh, here's one. 5, take away 5.
Mom should take it away
5,
from
take
the
away
phone.
5. And how much do you think that is?
That gets better.
5.
Here we go.
Daddy, what are you doing?
Oh.
Just playing on top of me right now. What did I tell you about playing on the phone?
Your mother.
The mom comes in.
I didn't mean to play.
That hits a little bit close to home, though. My dad's a firefighter, and I actually
Right.
called the dispatcher once and went, "Can I speak to my dad?" And they actually have a recording of me at 5 years old, talking to the dispatcher for 20 minutes about why I shouldn't be doing that. And then my dad gets on the line.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
How
and
old were you?
I was 5.
You were 5.
And I was talking to the dispatcher. They actually linked me in to his fire station and had my dad talk to me. And I was like,
Oh,
why?
gee.
It worked for me.
What's the big deal?
No, what's crazy though is they will still fine you for that sort of a thing. if your kid calls in and it, it's just an honest mistake.
Unless your dad's a firefighter.
Unless your dad.
See, and that's why we're the coolest kids around.
No, I think that's pretty funny. It's good stuff. Just don't be a stupid criminal. We could go on and on for days about stupid criminals. And
Yeah,
stuff
be a
that goes
stupid
on.
kid.
Yeah, be a stupid kid. That's cute.
Call about your math homework, not about your pot plants.
That's true. I think that was the same kid 10 years later.
Yeah, no. Can you help me with my math? I have one pot plant. How many years in jail does that equal?
Back to the past. I mean,
we should take a break and we'll be right back after this.
I'll be the switch she turns on. She'll be mine too. I get off. I'll be the fuse that she blows. And even with the lights out, we'll go. I'll be the switch she turns on.
With so many new releases this year, everyone needs a little help finding the right game. Check out the brand new game reviews on ninethrowreviews.com. Starting in November, Ninth Row Reviews will start streaming brand new videos of launch titles including Halo 4, Assassin's Creed 3, and BioShock Infinite. Check it out at ninethrowreviews.com.
And we're back with that. So we got a lot of brand new games that we want to talk about. I know, Justin, you checked out Medal of Honor launch day.
Horrible.
Absolutely terrible. Assassin's Creed comes out tonight. It's the 29th of October. So we're going to have a video of that later on, like the ad said. But before we get into the games too much, Justin, you had some really cool stuff go on this last week.
That's right. We had LandFest this weekend. It was a huge success. There was 353 registered people there.
Holy cow.
So 350 PC nerds came out and plugged all their stuff in, got all the network hooked up. The network ran great. Internet speeds were great, so it was a huge success.
You were running you were managing some of the IT stuff there, right?
Just a small portion of it, not very much.
How did you get into that? Because it was Intel was hosting this?
Yeah, actually the guys that ran the tech portion, the company's name was DJ's Computer Repair Service, who I know a couple of them,
cool.
so they'll appreciate the plug, but they did a good job of making sure everybody was online and gaming almost the entire time.
Do you know what their URL or anything like that? Their website?
It's just djscomputerservice.com.
Cool.
They're
Check
based
those
out of
guys
Sacramento.
out.
So
way cool.
Check them out. Give them some Skrilla.
But yeah, LandFest was a huge success. I took some pictures, got some panoramic pictures with my new iPhone OS.
Nice.
Yes, it's a good shot.
So are we going to be able to post that up online later?
Yeah, definitely.
Sweet.
Yeah, because it's an iPhone product, we can actually use the content from it.
I wasn't going to bring up the fact that I've been able to do panorama shots on my Android since launch, but that's okay. So it was wow. So there are 350 people, a bunch of PCs. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was cool. They also have raffles there, which I won a brand new solid state drive. That was also awesome. My buddy won a 393K 3930K processor, which is an i7 Extreme Edition.
Yeah.
It's really nice. It's like a $450 processor. So.
I really want it's 3.8.
It's
unclocked?
No, it's a 3.4.
3.4, but that's unclocked.
Underclocked.
9.2.
Oh, jeez, man.
So once he overclocks it, you probably get it up to 4.6, 4.8.
Those are
solid.
For anyone that doesn't understand what we're talking about, it means your computer goes really stinking fast.
Yeah. Oh,
it makes us very IT people we love that. What games were big though? I mean, with 350 people, I'm sure not everybody's playing the same game.
Battlefield was big. League of Legends was also big.
Yeah, I
hate League of Legends so much.
I can see Battlefield, League of Legends. Yeah, I agree.
Poopy. Counter-Strike was really big. Counter-Strike Global Offensive, that was a good one to play.
Have you played Global Offensive much?
Yeah, I played all the time.
And have you felt that it wasn't as good as a lot of people have said it was? I mean,
I actually like it a lot.
I've heard a lot of complaints about it, but then again, you hear about that every time Counter-Strike releases a new game.
Yeah, I didn't like Source. I didn't like Source at all because it wasn't like 1.6, and I was a huge 1.6 fan. But
right.
Global Offensive is a lot more like 1.6, and I actually like it a lot.
I always just chalk it up to everybody having to figure out how to hack the game again.
Yeah, or bunny hop.
Anyway, so yeah, there's a lot of Counter-Strike, a lot of Battlefield. I can understand Battlefield. It's a huge game right now.
And PlanetSide 2. We were playing PlanetSide 2 for
really?
a good chunk of the time, yeah.
Did they have any specific content, or not the raffles or anything like that, but were they doing any tournament-style stuff as well?
Oh, yeah. They did a Global Offensive tournament, a StarCraft 2 tournament, a League of Legends tournament, a Battlefield tournament. What else was there? I think that was it, actually. Those were the 4. And then the rest were all just like contests, like case mod contest, overclocking contest.
Really?
Yeah, they had a scavenger hunt, which it was kind of lame this year, but usually that one's pretty good.
Where was this thing at? Because 350 people, that's a lot of.
It's at Intel.
It was at Intel.
It's actually at Intel. It's in their cafeteria.
Oh,
That's
really?
way cool.
Yeah, so it's
how many
huge.
days was it?
It's 3.
It was 3.
Starts on Friday and ends on Sunday.
I would love to get involved with some of the guys that are doing that. Like I know Rooster Teeth just recently started doing some. Oh no, actually Rooster Teeth is doing RTX. They're slightly different, but there are like the Blind Ferret guys up in Canada. They've got a couple of different they're cartoons that they produce online. They do some pretty cool expos. Winterine Miss is the one that CAD/comics.com does, and they're way cool. They got a bunch of really cool sponsors like. It's the sumo bags, the beanbag chairs.
Yep.
And I see videos of stuff that they do. I've always wanted to get into one of these large land fests and hang out and just help sponsor it.
The sumo is something we should look into as a potential sponsor. They sponsor anybody, and they're actually a very nice product.
Yeah, they are. I want a sumo bag so bad.
Mm-hmm.
So if they want to sponsor us and give us some of their products so we can talk about how great they are,
Sumo.com.
I already know that they're great.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, don't give it away for free.
No, this is their free plug. So when they start getting on our podcast for real, we can help them out a little bit.
We will look into that this week. And also, if you didn't notice, we did talk about Amazon a little bit. On our website, you can use the Amazon link to make purchases. It doesn't add any more to the cost of your product. We just get an advertising cost off of that, a little percentage. It really helps us out. We're working hard to try and get as much sponsorship and support for the show as we can. Because this stuff is expensive. The hosting is expensive, and we really want to make it a success. So if you find a way to help us with that, we'd really appreciate it.
Those guys at Ninth Row Review, they're really helping us out right now. We want some more people.
Those guys are great.
Yeah, those guys. We
They're
need
the
more
best.
people like Ninth Row Review.
Anyway, so back to Landfest. So lots of contests, lots of stuff to win. Do you like your solid state drive?
Yes, it's extremely fast and it's durable and it's so much better than the one I had before.
Oh,
so yes,
man.
and I already cloned my entire computer to it, so it's already in my machine and working.
How quick does your machine start up now?
It's probably like 4 or 5 seconds.
That's insane.
But that's after post. I don't count.
Oh.
Yeah,
I don't count post because that's so dependent on your motherboard.
Yeah,
and the BIOS. It isn't fair to really do that. Are you playing with the volume a little bit? Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. So, yeah, Landfest, lots of cool games, but we also have a lot of cool games that are coming out. You want to talk about Medal of Honor and how much that sucked.
Yeah,
you kind of predicted that would be the case this time around.
actually thought it was going to be okay just because the last one they did wasn't bad, but
last week you were really talking it up.
It was terrible. It was so depressing.
What's wrong with it?
It's just another Call of Duty clone. It's really, I mean, with the production values, the game looks good. But the stories, it's been there, done that before,
Right, nothing new.
Totally predictable. The multiplayer's kind of cool, just some of the stuff that they added in, but it's all the same. There's nothing new.
Does it look any better than the previous versions do?
Yeah, it does. I mean, but they didn't really utilize the Frostbite engine too, like they should have,
which is unfortunate.
Because Battlefield, if you look at Battlefield and compare the games side to side, you're like, it doesn't even look like it was created on the same engine compared to Battlefield.
Wow,
Battlefield just blows it out of the water in terms of visuals. But it's kind of surprising because that was the big drawing point was how realistic it was all supposed to be. And
one game that's kind of stepped out in the review in the trailers that I've seen as far as graphics is the new Generals. I don't know if you've seen much of that.
Yeah,
but it looks like it could be really good, and I'm hoping that increase in graphic capability and realism is going to set it apart from all the other Command and Conquer games. I mean, if anything, that alone can break it out to be worth chalking up $60 for the same old China versus U.S. versus terrorists.
Yeah.
But I love those games.
That's all Medal of Honor's about, is some terrorists grabbing the nuclear mega bomb and going into, New York subway systems, and somehow they're able to smuggle the nuke across to America, and it's whatever.
Yeah, wasn't that exactly the same plot line of
as every other game?
Battlefield had the exact same thing.
But there's no connection to real life organizations because the soccer moms will get mad and ban the game outright. I remember it was Medal of Honor, the last one that came out. They
had a huge uproar because of the
you could play as Al Qaeda.
Yeah, and you went in and blew up the airport and killed a bunch of people.
No, that was Call of Duty,
and nobody cared about that one.
Oh,
I played that level on repeat.
Yeah, that was a cool mission.
Weird.
Yeah,
that was actually a cool mission because it gave you a sense of it just gives you a sense of just gruesomeness that you didn't really get that in other games. It was the first game to really do that.
Yeah, like when you're walking through and you're Because like a little preface.
And you can skip the
and
mission.
and you could. And I remember that because that was one of the big things is that you could move past it. Without
you could press
playing
X
that.
and then
Yeah, you
they
can
tell
skip
you
past it.
they tell you the story of what happened.
Okay,
instead.
here's an interesting little bit then, because Jake, you're not as big into games as we are, and if anything, you probably would relate more to the movie and TV show spectrum as far as storytelling goes.
Yeah, you're the soccer
so.
mom.
Outside of us game lovers, really, the ones that would play this thing naturally, and it may not shock us so much to see something like this. Hearing about a video game that depicts the killing of American citizens,
or just people in general,
or
people in general, unarmed citizens,
or a terrorist act like that, and allows the player to be in that role, do you think that it is different than a TV show or a movie focusing in and following the bad characters and some of the things that they do? The terrorist type stuff. And is that morally questionable? Is it any more wrong? Is it an egregious sin against the potential buyers and viewers of this content?
Man, deep question.
I know, right?
Jake's response is yes.
Bane wants to know the answers to these things.
No, well, you know what? I think like having this sort of stuff where you can look at it from their side, it just makes everything seem more human. I mean, if you don't have that, you kind of just stereotype a whole nation because of the act of a few people.
Right.
And so, I don't know.
But specifically, going in as the terrorists and killing a bunch of innocent people.
Basically, the mission, how it works is they put you in the boots of a terrorist organization, and they literally drop you at the front entrance of an airport and have you go through.
The city.
Yes, and then they go through,
get out of here.
and you're ordered to just shoot whoever you see, and it's just unarmed civilians standing around in the airport. And you're just basically going through, wiping out everybody that you see. That's the mission.
Yeah. No, I mean, if you take offense to that, you're going to be taking offense to James Bond.
Right.
Killing security guards doing their job at some.
Right.
James Bond's
at Sears.
He's a mass murderer.
Yeah, at Sears or at some government dam.
I see the exact same thing. You really can't keep drawing these different perspectives between video games and movies, because both of them show these not so nice parts of the story. There's bad people out there, and if the movie is depicting that, then you know that going into it. As a parent, if you bought your kid this game and you knew what it was about, which you should when you're buying a rated M game for an under 17-year-old kid, you know that it's going to include the death of, tons of digital people that never actually existed.
That's funny. I've been playing M-rated games since I was 12.
Yeah.
Digital people.
Does that M rating even have any validation?
It does.
I've snuck by it several
See, I
times.
thought M stood for maybe you shouldn't buy it for your kid.
That kid shouldn't be.
No, I still run into. I don't personally, but I still hear enough stories of stores holding to the M rating and not selling it.
Back to the Medal of Honor. One of the talk about all the mission where you go through the airport. Actually, the training in Medal of Honor puts you in the shoes of a jihadist. So you're actually going through a jihad training camp, and it's all in Arabic. The whole training is in Arabic, and that's what you are. You're jihad.
Wow, that's kind of intense.
Yeah, and they don't talk about it anywhere else in the story. They don't refer back to the character that you're trained as later. They just you're a jihad, you're trained, and then you're preacher.
And did you feel like that really added to the game at all as far as the storyline?
It was just random. It was maybe they were trying to do some kind of slap your face, take you back kind of a thing, but it was just okay, this is really random.
So it could have been something that the way they ended up putting into the game just wasn't as effective as a storyline mover.
It sounds how game developers are trying to be more shocking than actually try to tell the story.
Yeah, it's just like what we were talking about with the the ratings the other week. How much can they get away with before people start actually complaining?
No, that makes sense.
And they probably do that so they can get attention, so they can sell more units.
Well, along the same lines, Assassin's Creed 3, it comes out tonight, and it had a portion of the game removed because it was the depiction of...
I don't think it...
No, they didn't remove it. They didn't
remove
it? They just removed it from the trailer.
They removed it from the trailer. Okay. I thought that they actually had removed it from the game, or people were arguing for them to do that. What was it exactly? It was the depiction of women and children being killed?
No, it's Americans.
It was just Americans.
It was
the murdering blue coats.
Yeah, it was colonials. It was colonists. They're basically killing colonies of people,
shooting our hard-working Americans.
Yeah. America.
in the
See,
colonies.
it doesn't make sense to me.
But it's like, what do you expect? Ubisoft is a French company. I mean,
They get
come
so
on.
much crap from us about us calling them wusses and such.
Yeah.
You know, expect this stuff.
They make a game that's actually somewhat historically accurate. Not completely. There weren't any assassins or anything.
Right.
And I don't think Americans were Templars.
Yeah, but you know the fact that they're using both sides, the British and the Americans, and there's really no good person or good side.
They depict it as like a gray middle ground.
It's a nice gray area that you can just kill people in.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. It seems like too many people want to eat the cake and have it too.
Yeah.
You know, and they just can't get over that if you want part of the game, you want it to be real, you want it to be interesting, you want it to be entertaining, and, you know, in some ways even factual. You're going to see some of this crap. You're going to see some of the not so nice parts of it. But as far as the new stuff that's coming out, Assassin's Creed, that's going to be really good. We are going to have some videos of that up. Once
like
it comes out.
I was telling you before the show, I actually pre-ordered the game probably 6 months ago and forgot about it. And like my relationship with GameStop, they don't tell me until the day the game comes out.
Yeah.
I was actually kind of surprised because I thought the game was already out for some reason. It had been so long since I had seen the trailers and seen the pre-order purchase stuff come up that I'd totally forgotten about it.
Yeah, by the way, don't buy Medal of Honor. I forgot to say that. Don't buy it.
In case that wasn't clear by our discussion
Don't buy
earlier,
it.
Don't buy
Don't
Medal
even
of Honor.
rent it. You want to rent something? Go tomorrow and rent
That's a big
Assassin's
deal.
Creed.
Yeah.
Don't rent Medal of Honor.
Even saying
rent Assassin's
rent,
Creed.
that's a big deal.
Yeah, it's bad.
And kind of on the Halloween topic, going back, you want to talk about Evil Dead as well?
Yeah, actually, we have some trailers that have dropped. Evil Dead 1. I'm sorry, I was going to say my favorite movie of all time is Evil Dead 2.
remake.
Yeah, the remake. Re-Dead. That's what we're going to call it.
Yeah, Re-Dead.
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 All right.
Re-Deaded.
Re-Dead. Hey, that's another movie. I'm sorry you can't say that one.
Oh, man.
But there's some trailers that dropped on the internet.
It was a
late
Red
last
Band
week.
trailer too, so it was.
And it came from
Wow.
I think,
Quite egregious.
the last Comic-Con. But yeah, Evil Dead and Iron Man 3 just dropped.
And that looks good. That looks really good.
Okay, so when you saw the trailer, before looking at, if you had not known that it was Ben Kingsley playing the Mandarin, I seriously thought it was one of the characters that played one of the dwarves from Lord of the Rings. I did not
You thought it was the
recognize
Hobbit?
him because he looks like he's gained more weight, and with all the hair on, he seriously looks like a dwarf from Lord of the Rings. Not like Ben Kingsley, but as soon as I saw it was Ben Kingsley, I kind of went, yeah, man, this is going to be good.
Well, the trailer looks good, but Iron Man 2 burned me so hard.
Yeah, it really did.
But Iron Man 3 is after the Avengers, right?
Yes.
And so I think that may have given them another push to keep the Iron Man series.
And they also, the director is Shane
Going.
Black, and he wrote a lot of big action movies in the 80s. Like, he wrote the Lethal Weapon series.
Right.
So I actually trust him more than the guy who wrote Swingers.
I thought that was Richard Donner that wrote Lethal Weapon.
No, he directed Lethal Weapon.
Oh,
Shane Black,
okay.
he also wrote Predator. No, he was in Predator. But
Oh.
yeah, he's a really big name. And it's
I didn't
cool that they
realize
got
he was
him.
in Predator.
He wrote a small movie a while ago called Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Oh, that's such an awesome movie.
I remember
That's a
that.
movie that I recommend anybody go watch.
Anybody? Even a 4-year-old that needs help with math?
4-year-olds need to watch that. Gay Perry, he's a character in the movie.
Oh, I thought he was
4-year-old
just a gay parent.
No. No,
you have to see the movie.
Edit
His
that
name's
out.
Gay Perry, yeah.
Okay, everybody with a Netflix account, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. You'll think
Robert
that.
Downey
Alright.
is really good in that movie, too.
That's him too.
I think
that's
it
how
seems
got
like he has gotten better. He kind of went off the deep end a little bit a couple years ago. He was having some issues, drugs and stuff, and it seems like he's come back.
You know, I actually read an article by Robert Downey Jr. Do you know how he actually got clean?
No.
He was driving through a McDonald's. No, it was a Burger King drive-through, and he had like 6 pounds of Coke in the backseat of his car.
Oh, jeez.
And he bought his burger, and he takes a bite, and he says it was the worst burger he ever bit. That he drove to the ocean and rethought his life because of this burger that he ate.
Wow.
He said it was the worst burger ever, and I needed to
Only somebody who was high out of their mind would
think a
yeah,
burger
yeah.
is time to reevaluate your life.
But you know, at least he came out on the bright side with that one because I've liked his movies recently. I liked Avengers. I'm excited for Iron Man 3 because it looks like it's going to be really good.
Hopefully.
Correction, that was the bright side, not the white side.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
But yeah.
It does look like it's going to be really good. I'm glad to see that they're going to bring the Mandarin in because they kind of foreshadowed his coming in movies already past.
The first one, they kind of talked about him.
Yeah, but they didn't really give a whole lot of information about what role he was going to play.
I'm ready for Thanos, man. I want to see what Thanos looks
Avengers
like.
2?
Yeah, man. I can't wait for Thanos.
Well, I hear if Thanos shows up, then we're going to get a Planet Hulk movie sometime in the future.
Oh, that'd be good. Especially given the latest Hulk. I mean, it was the best of all the Hulk movies.
Oh yeah.
But if you look at it that way, how good is the Hulk if he can't? Edward Norton couldn't do anything with him. Eric Bana couldn't do anything with him. Is the Hulk a side character that can't sustain his own movie, or can he actually be in a Hulk?
I don't know. I
film?
think after the Avengers, they flushed out his character more.
They need to stop doing Hulk origin movies. That's the problem.
They need a Hulk movie.
They need to do a movie just where he's already the Hulk. He's already been established as the Hulk. He's already got his powers. And, just like Iron Man now, they're just continuing the Iron Man story. They need to continue on with the Hulk story.
They need to bring in, like, with was it the Hulk patches or whatever, the drug, it was a patch, and you put it on, and you'd get, like, super strength for a while, and then there was a guy that put on, like, 1,000 patches, and it turned him into an evil version of the Hulk. One of those characters, one of those sidelines, because it is just origin movie instead of continuing on the character.
And that's the problem with superhero movies.
I'm ready to. I mean, unfortunately, they can't do anything with Captain America. His story's over. He went frozen in ice, and they thawed him out, and he went into the Avengers. And so everything he does at this point either has to be attached to the Avengers movies, or it has to be totally on the side. And I don't think it would be any good.
Or he could do like Shield. They could use him in like a Shield setting.
Well, but you guys heard about the TV show, right?
What I was gonna say, yeah.
And so maybe. I mean, it's not going to be the same actor, which is it's too bad because I like both the actor and the character a lot. But I think that they've locked down what they can do with it besides the TV show.
Chris Pine?
Yeah.
I don't think he's that great of a Captain America.
I don't know. He feels true. I don't know. Jake, were you ever a big fan of Captain America younger?
No.
I remember playing.
So is the movies now more of your first experiences with his character?
Yeah, I didn't even see Captain America. I only saw the Avengers.
Yeah.
So.
Really?
I actually liked it.
I really liked Captain America.
I thought it was really good.
Doesn't the same actor do was it Fantastic Four?
Yeah, that's the only problem that I didn't understand that one. Why would you use him as the Torch and then also as Captain America? Because
poor planning.
Because nobody liked the Fantastic Four, so you could get away with that.
This is true.
But and also at the same time, if you look at Thor, Captain America, Iron Man, all of those other movies have played into the Avengers. Like you can see pieces of the story. The blue cube of power. The name of it is I can't think of it at the moment.
The Tesseract.
The Tesseract you saw in every single one of those movies. You saw it in Iron Man, you saw it in Thor, and you saw it in Captain America. And so those movies all play into the Avengers. At this point, what connection does the Fantastic Four have? Nothing. It wasn't the Tesseract that caused their mutations. So, it could go.
They're never going to work
ways.
the Fantastic Four into the Avengers.
No,
I hope not.
I hope they work Spider-Man in though.
Yeah, if they work Spider-Man, and maybe that's why they're rebooting the entire Spider-Man series.
I didn't like the new one that much. To be honest.
I thought it was too much CGI.
The new reboot was actually a way for Sony to keep the Spider-Man property. The only reason it got made is so they could keep the Spider-Man at Sony and not.
Was it about to fall out?
It was. Yeah, it was a contract
then it would have gone back to who? Marvel.
It would have gone back to Marvel. See, Marvel's trying to pick back up all their properties. When Marvel was a small company, they were just handing out all of their IPs, and then they became a company, and now they're mad that they gave away Spider-Man and the Punisher.
Right, because if Sony can hold on to Spider-Man, then they can hold rights to any inclusion of him in future Avengers.
I really hope they redo the Punisher again. I liked Punisher Warzone. I actually did.
Tom Jane needs to come back to be the Punisher. I think he's the only guy that is the Punisher embodiment.
I don't know.
Which Punisher movie was Tom Jane?
The original Punisher.
So the first one?
Yeah. The not a good movie, he should have been the Punisher in the Punisher End Zone. Or Strike Zone.
I thought you were talking about the original Punisher with Dolph Lundgren.
No, man. That movie goes
taking it old
me.
School.
I hope they do Daredevil again.
Oh,
really? You
man.
think so?
I remember being a little kid
with Elektra.
Or Elektra.
Catwoman. Oh man.
Okay,
so those are all DC properties.
So when are they gonna flesh out dang it, what's his name? Hawkeye's story.
He was so weak in the Avengers.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I really would say he's weak. I think his character.
I ran out of arrows.
This arrow explodes.
I'm sitting in my nest.
I think that his
what was that about?
His storyline and what they tell about him is weak. I don't think that his character is weak.
They didn't give him enough to do, and then they turned into a bad guy, and then he turns back into a good guy, and I'm supposed to be like, now I relate to this one.
Scarlett a miracle worker.
Yeah, just like Black Widow. I don't think they can do a movie on Black Widow either. She just doesn't have enough.
But I think that they could do a movie of the two of them
together. Two of them, yeah.
And explain their whole connection and what they were talking about throughout the Avengers, which is the only thing that I don't think really people understood about the Avengers is they're all like, well, what happened? What was this? You've introduced 2 characters. You kind of talk about their background, but you don't give any other information besides that.
Especially in a movie where you're jam-packing with all these people with previous movies. Why do we
Right.
need these other 2 guys?
I rewatched The Avengers outside of theaters for the first time last week. And,
Still awesome.
And it was still, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Totally worth renting on Redbox and watching. It's a great film.
Yeah, I bought it on Blu-ray.
Really?
I had to get that Blu-ray quality.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we got it on Blu-ray. It was a great film. And actually, in this next month, there's some other great films that are coming out. Wreck-It Ralph comes out pretty soon, and I'm excited for that. I think it could be really good.
This Friday.
It could either be really, really bad, or it could be really good. I don't see it being anywhere in the middle, really, like Hotel Transylvania was. Thank you, Adam Sandler. Flight with Denzel Washington looks like it's going to be really, really good.
Is that the one where the plane's upside down?
Yeah, it's the one where he's the pilot that somehow crash lands the plane and everybody survives, and they can't figure out what caused the problem, and it's this huge dispute between the company and him, and whether he was drunk or whether it was their negligence and an issue with the plane.
Has anybody seen the movie John Q?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's kind of giving me flashbacks to that one.
Yeah, I can see that. Similar idea.
Well, it's just Denzel Washington's a good actor in whatever you put him in, but these kind of movies look like he's trying to get an Academy Award.
And I think he deserves it.
Go watch Man on Fire again.
Okay. Yeah.
Such an awesome movie.
But you also notice that Bryan Cranston is in almost either directing or acting in almost everything now.
Oh, I didn't know he was acting in everything.
Acting. Did I say acting?
No, it's okay. I heard. No, he's an accomplished director and an actor, so he's doing Modern Family.
He just directed an episode of The Office this last 2 weeks ago.
He's doing a Parks and Rec episode.
Yeah. I think it's way funny because you go from Breaking Bad and his character in that, and I just can't see him.
Well, he was Malcolm in the Middle before he was.
Yeah.
And he directed several episodes of that show too.
Yeah.
Talk about spectrum of character that he can play. Holy cow! And now he just recently was in Argo, right?
Yes, he was good in Argo. That was more of like a big cast. Like he didn't have a time to really shine.
Right. Didn't seem like he was a main character.
He was okay in it though.
I'm Ben Affleck and I write awesome movies for myself.
Anyway, so yeah, lots of great movies that are coming up in this next month. We're gonna have lots of reviews, lots of things to talk about. And this is about everything we have for this week. Anybody? Can you think of anything else?
Well, just to touch on it lightly, Evil Dead 1, the trailer.
Oh yeah, going back to Evil Dead.
Well, you saw it, Jake, didn't you?
Yeah.
Justin, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. We go by Jay. I like
JJ.
Jay.
We're both on the same.
Hey,
angle
JJ,
of the
what you
couch.
doing?
Just
JJ
point
Abrams.
this way.
What'd you think of it?
I actually liked it a lot. I thought it was kind of creepy, but and then when they cut to the scene where they showed the chainsaw and the shotgun, that was just like Bruce Campbell. Bring it on!
Well, it felt like they were remaking both of them at the same time.
Yeah, I really do hope they remake Army of Darkness too, because that would be really awesome.
That would be awesome. And I'm just glad that Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell are on the producing team.
Yeah, so that's definitely going to probably kick it up to with the original, but they need to stay to the original because the original is already good. There's no reason to go screwing it up.
So our final verdict on Evil Dead, the remake, it's either going to be great or it's going to be
suck really bad.
I just hope it's not another Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa, yeah.
I agree. But we'll just have to see what happens with that. I mean, at this point, the very first trailers come out. It's kind of like Iron Man. I'm sure as more trailers come out, we'll have a better idea how the story and how the movie is going to play out and whether it's going to be worth seeing in theaters and anything like that. But yeah, that's about all the time we have for this week. It's been fun. Thank you guys for listening. We'll be back next week with another episode. Lots of new stories to tell, fun things to talk about. And until then, have a good one.
Catch you later.
Love you.
Bye-bye.
Is Bane going to say bye too?
Yeah,
no, Bane should say goodbye.
Bane in there.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, Bane.
You have my permission to turn off the podcast.
Okay.